Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear secondary stage students, welcome to our English sessions and I wish you good luck. Here we'll deal with structure, grammar. First secondary stage students, in Unit 1 we will deal with the past simple tense or the past simple tense. There is an important question we have to ask ourselves when we deal with any tense. سؤال مهم لازم نسأل نفسينا قبل ما نتعامل مع أي زمن. When can we use this tense? إمتى نستخدم الزمن؟ As for the past simple tense بالنسبة للماضي البسيط, we use the past simple tense when we talk about a completely finished action. حكاية خلصت خالص انتهت تماما في الماضي. It has no effect at present. ملهاش أي أثر أو أي تأثير في الوقت الحالي. Then we have to ask ourselves, what's the form of the tense? شكل الزمن ده ايه؟ طبعا we deal with tenses, then we deal with the form of the verb. طالما بنتعامل مع الزمن يبقى بنتعامل مع شكل الفعل. In the past simple tense we have two forms of the verb, or two kinds of verbs. The first one is regular verbs and the second one is irregular verbs. Regular, it means it goes on with the rule. يعني الأفعال اللي بتنطبق عليها الإيه؟ irregular verbs يعني أفعال ما بتنطبقش عليها القاعدة. In the past simple tense we have a rule. This rule says that we should end the verb with the or ed or ied. This is the regular verbs. For example, we have the verb like. In the past it became liked. We added the because it ends with e. Then we have the verb look, which became looked in the past. We added ed. This is the main rule, to add ed to the verb. And the verb look doesn't end with e. Then we have the verb study, which became studied in the past. Study end with D, a consonant letter, حرف ساكن, followed by Y. So we have to change the letter Y into I-E-D. This is the main rule of the past simple. This is the main rule to regular verbs in the past simple. Then we have irregular verbs. For example, break, broke, buy, bought, take, took, find, found, cut. Here we do not have a rule. We have to memorize the verb, the infinitive form, and the second form or the past form of it. After that, we have to deal with the keys of any tense. Any tense have some or has some keys, or keywords. The words in the sentence which guide you that you will use a specific tense. كلمات كده بتقول لك استخدم الزمن ده. As for the past simple tense, we have the keys: yesterday, lost, ago, in followed by any previous year, in أي سنة عدت. This morning هو الصبح. When ومع two phrases or two sentences when we talk about the past actions. In the past, and once upon a time when you tell a story from the past. This is the keys of the past simple, or the words that help you to know that the sentence is in the past simple tense. For any tense, you have to know the affirmative form and the negative form. إثبات ونفي. As for the past simple, we have two ways to change into negative. The first form, الشكل الأول عشان أحول الماضي, to use didn't plus infinitive. Or to use never plus the past verb or the second form of the verb. يعني يا إما didn't والمصدر يا إما never والفعل زي ما هو في الماضي. For example, he played badly yesterday مثلا. He played badly. الراجل كان بيلعب وحش. الراجل ده لعب وحش. Yesterday. When we change it into negative, he didn't play badly. He didn't play badly. Or he never played badly. He never played badly. Also we have I went home late yesterday. To change it into negative, we can say I didn't go home late yesterday. Or I never went home late yesterday. You have to change a sentence in the past from affirmative form to a negative form. We can use didn't plus infinitive, or never plus the past verb or the past form of the verb or the second form of the verb. In other cases, we can use not only if the sentence contains was or where. Was, wasn't, were, weren't. Then the past question form. The question form in the past, we have two kinds of questions. The first kind of the first form, yes, no question. Here also we use did. We begin the question with did, then we got the subject plus the infinitive form of the verb and the complement of the sentence until the question mark. For example, did she like her doll? Did she like her doll? In the yes no question, it's good to answer with a short answer. For example, did she like her doll? Yes, she did. Or no, she didn't. The second question form is the WH question. Here we begin with the WH word, then did, then the subject, فاعل, then the infinitive form of the verb until the question mark. For example, how did you go home yesterday? حضرتك روحت ازاي امبارح؟ طبعا now we need a complete answer. For example, I went home by bus. Or a short answer, on foot, by bus. For any tense, we have the active form and the passive form. Active form مبني معلوم, passive form مبني للمجهول. Active form يعني we begin with the subject. نبدأ جملتنا فاعل الجملة. الفعل بالنسبة لنا حاجة معروفة في بداية الجملة. Then we use the verb, then the object. For example, طبعا we talk about the past simple tense, so the verb will be in the past form. The mechanic fixed my car yesterday. ميكانيكي الراجل ده صلح عربيتي بقى. To change it into passive، عشان نحول جملة زي دي من معلوم لمجهول we have to begin with the object. لازم نبتدي بالمفعول. إننا we will ignore the subject، يعني نتجاهل الإيه؟ الفاعل. التجاهل هنا يا شباب إما إن إحنا to omit it from the sentence، نحذفه خالص من الجملة، or to put it at the end of the sentence preceded by. نحطه في نهاية الجملة وقبليه by. يعني الحل بالنسبة لنا متاح ده أو ده. For example, the main sentence نفس الجملة اللي كانت في active the mechanic fixed my car. When we change it into the passive form my car يعني the object، حضرتك لازم من عندك تستخدم was or were plus the past participle verb as the past participle form of the verb. يبقى my car was fixed. Then complete the sentence until the end. كمل جملتك لحد نهايتها. و at the end you can add the subject، ممكن تضيف انت بقى الفعل في النهاية preceded by وقبليه كلمة حرف جر by. يبقى my car was fixed by the mechanic yesterday. يبقى دي active form مبني معلوم، دي passive form مبني مجهول. active form subject، passive form object. active form the verb in the tense، passive form was or were plus the past participle. Here we have a very important part of the past simple. In some cases we can write the sentence in the past form, but the meaning of the sentence is present. يعني أحيانا كده تلاقي الجملة بتاعتك مكتوبة بفعل في الماضي في الباست simple، لكن لما تيجي ترجمها تلاقي معنى جملة present مضارع. Here we have some cases، عندنا بعض الحالات with the examples مع الأمثلة. يعني number 1 the sentence begin with the subject, then the verb wish, then another subject, then the past verb. يعني wish اللي هي يتمنى لما تيجي مع subject وبعديها subject تاني، ممكن يكون هو the same يعني أو مختلف. وبعدين الباست فورم اوف ذا فيرب الفعل فيه بشكل الماضي، يبقى أنا هنا كاتب ماضي لكن معنى الجملة في الماضي. يعني مثلا for example I wish I had a car. had the past form of had. لو هترجمها أتمنى أن أكون معايا عربية أو أتمنى أن أمتلك عربية at present في الوقت الحالي. The second case الحالة التانية it's time. معروف إن it's time to أو it's time for، it's time to plus an infinitive، it's time for plus ing، حان وقت. لكن in this case we have it's time plus subject not to or for. عندنا it's time بعديها فاعل تاني. هنا في الحالة دي we have to use a past verb. For example it's time we went. الجملة دي هي بالظبط it's time to go أو it's time for going. But here we write it in the past form and the meaning is present. It's time we went. حان وقت أن نذهب. نعم دلوقتي. The third case I'd rather، I would rather. I'd rather معروف إن I'd rather plus infinitive verb، يعني I'd rather go، I'd rather play، I'd rather see، I'd rather eat. I'd rather plus infinitive. لكن في حالتنا I'd rather plus subject، يبقى هنا we have to use a past verb. For example I'd rather you came home، يعني أتمنى إنك تيجي تتفضل عندنا في البيت. The verb came in past form لكن the meaning is present. The fourth case هي the second conditional F في الحالة التانية ب if. معروف إن if في الحالة التانية بيجي بعدها subject وكان past verb، لكن المعنى بتاعها فعلا the translation is at present. For example if I were you، اللي بنسميه دايما في for giving advice، if I were لو أنا مكانك يعني في الوقت ده في الحالة دي دلوقتي. if I were you I'd see a doctor، أروح وأكشف بمعنى you should see a doctor. حضرتك لازم تكشف. مش بيتكلم عن حاجة في الماضي، لا أنا I'm giving you advice. يعني هنا we have 4 cases. The verb in the past but the meaning at present. Wish plus subject. It's time plus subject. Would rather plus subject. The second conditional if the past sentence but the meaning is in present or at present. To express a habit in the past يعني عايز تتكلم عن something you were doing in the past and you stopped doing it أو you gave up doing it. حاجة كده كنت بتعملها متعود تعملها وبطلتها بنسميها past habits أو عادات الماضي. عندنا برضو we have some cases أشهرهم إن إحنا بنستخدم used to plus الانفعال. بس هنا use مش معناها استخدام خالص، معناها اعتادا. subject لازم يكون شخص أكيد followed by used to plus infinitive form. infinitive form فعل في المصدر. بعد used to فعلنا في المصدر قبلها السبجكت. أنا كنت متعود على الشيء ده but I don't do it now. ما بقتش بعمل. for example he used to smoke heavily. الراجل ده كان متعود يدخن بشكل كثيف يعني بشدة. دلوقتي بقى يا إما ما بيدخنش خالص يا إما بيدخن بس مش يعني كان بيعمل زمان ومبقاش بقى. The second case الحالة التانية إن يبقى عندي subject مع كلمة always or usually. يعني use always usually present simple. لا we can use always or usually or often in the past form to express a repeated action in the past but we stop doing it. بنستخدمه فين مع فعل الماضي عبارة عن عادة في الماضي بس انتهينا منها ما بقيناش نعملها. يبقى subject مع always or usually plus past verb يبقى احنا بنتكلم عن habit in the past. For example he usually smoked heavily يعني كان متعود يدخن بشدة. دلوقتي يا إما بطل يدخن خالص يا إما ما بيدخنش بشدة. The third case عندنا the word no longer معناها إن أنا بطلت الشيء ده. الجملة دي subject plus no longer وهنا بطلت الحاجة دي دلوقتي يبقى أنا الفعل بتاعي لازم يبقى دلوقتي present simple. يعني infinitive verb يبقى verb end with s or yes or is. For example he no longer smokes heavily. he no longer smokes heavily. الراجل ده بطل يدخن بشدة يعني كان متعود يدخن بشدة وبطل يدخن بشدة. Number 4 أو the fourth case subject مع don't or doesn't plus infinitive verb والجملة تنتهي ب any more يعني تاني. أنا عايز أقول ما بقتش أعمل الحكاية دي تاني، ما بقتش أعمل الشيء ده تاني يعني كنت بعمله وبطلت أعمله. For example he doesn't smoke infinitive verb. he doesn't smoke heavily anymore. The fifth case it's similar to the fourth case فيها شبه شوية من الحالة الرابعة وهي sentence begins with subject then don't or doesn't and ends with any longer. يعني فوق any more هنا any longer. الإكزامبل بتاعي برضه he doesn't smoke heavily any longer. يبقى we have 5 cases to express a habit in the past عادة في الماضي and we stopped doing it بطلنا نعملها تاني. Here we will practice some exercise. Choose the correct answer from A, B, C or D. My aunt a week ago. أنا هنا مركز في الجملة أوي على كلمة a week ago. دايما بدور على الكيز مفاتيح اللي تساعدني في الجملة. A week ago بتقول لي إن this sentence is in the past simple. So when we deal with the choices اللي بنتعامل مع الاختيارات يبقى أنا خلاص عارف إن أنا هختار verb فين في الpast simple. يبقى I visited or I visit or I visiting or I would visit من غير كلام خلاص عشان a week ago يبقى أنا هختار I visited. The second sentence, we an interesting film last night. برضه هنا بدور على المفتاح بتاعي، فأنا شايف إن كلمة last night هي المفتاح بتاعي. last تقول لي استخدم the past simple tense، فلما أجي أشوف اختياراتي watch، watched، have watched، would watch، هلاقي نفسي على طول بختار watched. يبقى we watched an interesting film last night. المفتاح بتاعي هو last night. بعد كده number 3 when I was on holiday. طبعا دي when اهي، دي الكي بتاعي، دي المفتاح بتاعي when، وحتى ايه followed by a past simple tense when I was on holiday. يبقى انا كده بحكي في الماضي، بحكي عن حاجة حصلت معايا فين في الماضي، معايا او مع غيري. يبقى انا خلاص بتعامل مع الباست simple tense، مع الماضي الايه البسيط. يبقى اشوف اختياراتي when I was on holiday I tennis every day يا مستر. لا هنا ده repeated action بس مش شرط، ممكن يكون present or past. when I was on holiday I play، would play، played، have played tennis every day. يبقى I played tennis every day. ليه يا مستر played؟ when I was، أنا بتكلم عن past simple tense. number 4 they attend the conference last month. أكيد بدور على الكي المفتاح بتاعي، الكي عندي أكيد في حد هتقول لي last month. يبقى أنا هنا we deal with the past simple tense. عرفت منين؟ من الكي من المفتاح بتاعي. يبقى أنا أشوف اختياراتي won't، will not يعني، didn't، wasn't، don't. بتكلم في الباست simple، وعندي attend يحضر infinitive verb. أعمل negative في الباست بإيه؟ didn't plus the infinitive. يبقى they didn't attend the conference last month. number 5 this house 2 years ago. حد يقول لي بقى ليه الكي المفتاح بتاعي؟ على طول 2 years ago. دايما المفاتيح بتسهل لي كل حاجة. 2 years ago سنتين عدوا. يبقى أنا بتكلم past simple، يبقى أختار فعلي فين في past simple was the second 4. فأشوف اختياراتي built، builds، has built، was built. مثلا هو شوية verb في الpast second 4 built، built ماشي. بس this house البيت بنى؟ لا البيت ما بناش، البيت اتبنى. يبقى أنا بتكلم عن passive voice، مبني مجهول. يبقى the house هنا object مفعول مش subject مش فاعل. يبقى أنا محتاج passive for شكل من أشكال المبنى في الباست simple، يعني was or were والpast participle. يبقى was built. This house was built 2 years ago. number 6 if only I in China today. بيتمنى انه يكون دلوقتي النهارده فين؟ في الصين. طبعا حاجه هو بيتمناها دلوقتي. تعرفنا ان احنا لما نستخدم if عشان تعبر عن البريزنت يبقى لازم نستخدمها second conditional f، يعني بعد if past simple for. يبقى انا محتاج verb في الباست simple was or were، لان هي فيها نوع من الصعوبه في الحصول، يعني انك تبقى خاصين النهارده دلوقتي دي عايزه اجراءات كتيره. فلما يكون الحاجه شويه مش منطقيه فبنستخدم were with all the pronouns مع كل ضمائر مش was. يبقى if only I were in China today. if only I were in China today. number 7 it's time. ادي it's time حان اهو، بس بعديها subject we. عارف ان it's time to plus infinitive او it's time for ing، لكن دي it's time we. يبقى لازم حضرتي اختار past for شكل من اشكال الماضي. ولما اشوف الاختيارات not go، have gone، went، going، فما قداميش غير ايه؟ went. it's time we went home. the last sentence when I was young. when I was يعني بيحكي عن حياته في الماضي، عن حاجة في الماضي. يبقى أفعالي كلها في الباست simple، أفعالي كلها في الماضي. when I was young I used to، I used to، I am used to، I using to eat a lot of chocolates. لما نبص لاختياراتنا بنتكلم في الباست. العادة في الباست العادة اللي انتهت في الماضي ما بقتش أعملها استخدم used to plus infinitive. يبقى I used to eat اللي هي letter B. I used to eat a lot of chocolates. At the end of the session, thanks for your good listening. I wish you good luck and goodbye.